Brother, welcome back to another video. I'm excited to have you here because today's topic is getting new knowledge before you return to dating. So if you're someone who's recovering from a breakup and you're trying to go back into dating, maybe you're someone who's been rejected, maybe you just faced some type of difficulty, some type of failure, some type of challenge, and you're wanting to continue on a better foot, you're wanting to improve and not go back to repeating the same cycles in dating, this video is definitely for you because we're gonna dive into the importance of having new knowledge, and we're gonna talk about some ways to get new knowledge so you don't repeat the same patterns, you don't repeat the same cycles that lead to a pointless dating life where you're just stuck in a dating trap, a trap of dating over and over and not seeing results but just building frustration. So if you're someone that's wanting to succeed, watch this video to the very end. Last but not least, we have 3 spots left for my 90-day transformational program, the 90-day dating accelerator. That's where I walk you through a 90-day process to getting your first date in 30 days, and by the end of 90 days, building a Christ-centered relationship with an amazing woman. So if that's something that you're interested in, that you're passionate about, be sure to watch to the very end and link below for more information. It's about 10 questions. Go through the questions, book a call, and I'll see you on the other side. But without further ado, let's dive straight into today's video. So guys, when it comes to dating, it's important, first things first, that you stay in the game. I just want to lay down that foundation because if you're not staying in the game, you can't win. The guys that give up, the guys that face difficulty, the guys that face rejection and they give up, those are the guys that will never win because they've given up. But as long as you continue on your journey, on your path, you're consistent with it, and you apply knowledge, because there's something called a feedback loop. When you're dating, when you're talking to women and you get rejected, maybe you hear a certain criticism, you hear a certain rejection multiple times, learn from it. Because if you keep on getting data, you keep on getting information, you keep on getting feedback, but you don't apply the feedback, are you really growing? Because learning is changing your behavior. So let's say, for example, you go to approach a girl. She calls you creepy, right? And analyze yourself. Have brothers ask questions, you know what I'm saying? In my dating community, if you guys want to join, link in my bio, that's a perfect place to do so. You want to have people that you can connect with, you can ask questions, and you can learn from your mistakes. Because if you keep on hearing the same thing and you don't change your actions, you're literally banging your head against the wall, and that's insanity. Doing the same things over and over and expecting different results, and it's not going to change unless you change. And that's what the importance of this video is, to apply new knowledge. And knowledge can come in different forms. One, which I just mentioned, is learning from your experiences. What that means is you look back to your failures. If you got spit on by a girl before, what did you say? If maybe when you were dating, you said a certain thing on text and you noticed that the conversation went cold afterwards, you can look into it, especially if it's a pattern that you've noticed that has repeated itself more than twice. So you need to learn from your own mistakes. That is one way to gain knowledge and to move forward and break the endless cycle of frustration. Another great way to do so is to learn from other people's mistakes. It can be from watching content like this, where I go through some of the mistakes that I've made in dating, some of the mistakes that I've seen other people make in dating. That way you can avoid the headache and save yourself a lot of time. Another way is through wisdom. Even if it's not from the person's mistakes, maybe it's wisdom through the Bible, biblical wisdom, through principles that work, through wisdom that's been spread throughout time that works. If something works and someone is married and you're trying to get married, turn off your brain and just apply that advice. Because sometimes people think they know it all, but if you know it all, why aren't you where you're trying to be? Maybe there's something you don't know and you need to humble yourself and apply wisdom from people that know what works, from people that are where you're trying to get to, from people that are married. So I'm telling you guys, these are some ways to attain new knowledge, but it's important not only that you obtain the new knowledge, but after you obtain the new knowledge, that you actually apply the new knowledge. This reminds me of a scripture that says, be not only hearers of the word, but doers of the word. Because you can be a person that goes from video to video to video, you gain all this knowledge, you hear all these things to do, and you do nothing. I can tell you guys every single day, hey, use dating apps for sure. But on top of using dating apps, I'd encourage you to approach in person. You're gonna see a lot more success because I'm telling you, when it comes to dating apps, the highly desirable woman you're looking for, they have 3,000 to 4,000 likes. And if they actually like you, you're never gonna match because the algorithm and all these other things. But when you go to person, you literally match with them. You have an opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with them. I can say that all day long, but if you continue banging your head against the dating apps, you complain about how you're not seeing success, and you don't actually listen to the part of, hey, use dating apps but don't live on there, also do it in person, then are you actually applying what you're hearing, what you're learning, or are you just listening to content to make you feel good? And that is the trap I want you guys to escape. Don't get it twisted. I want you to watch my content, but more than watching my content, I want you guys to see results. I want you guys to actually have a change in your life, actually change your behavior. The reason I make this content is so you guys actually apply some of the things I'm teaching you guys and you see success. Because I've been a person who's banged my head against the wall multiple times. I've went through tons of L's, tons of losses when it comes to dating. So I promise you, if you guys want to see success in your dating life, gain new knowledge, learn from people, grow. And the growing comes from when you learn, you apply what you learn and you see a change in yourself. And unless you do that, unless you look at the feedback loops, unless you take feedback and you change your behavior, you change what you're doing, and you keep on implementing over time, of course, while being consistent. That's why the first thing we said is not giving up. That's why you need to stay in this game, because eventually you will win. It's only a matter of time. You'll see success. So I hope you guys got a lot of value from today's video. Don't only be hearers of the word, but let's be doers of the word too. And in this aspect, don't only be a person that just takes information, but actually apply the information you take. Actually apply things and see change. And if you guys have any questions, as always, be sure to reach out below. Link below for the 90-day transformational program, my free communities, and my bio on YouTube. Join either, whichever one works best for you. But I'll see you guys on the other side. Stay blessed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.